I will say my question imposed again this year. By the way, not isolated. There are other companies prolific tax reasons for over American people for decades. The Times previously reported that Trump lost $1 billion in over a decade in the 80s and 90s and avoided paying income taxes for 8 of those 10 years. And in congressional testimony, his ex-fixer, Michael Cohen, told Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez that Trump may well have committed tax fraud by lying about the value of his assets to save money.
To your knowledge, was the president interested in reducing his local real estate bills, tax bills?
Yes.
And how did he do that?
What you do is you deflate the value of the asset, and then you put in a request to the tax department for a deduction.
Of course, with Trump, it was probably hard to tell that he was deflating the value of his assets since everything he owns eventually turns anyway. He says his casino's worth $0, but I guess that makes sense. The slot machine only has 2 reels. Now, what Cohen alleged there is illegal. And we know Trump is already under investigation by both the Manhattan DA and the New York State Attorney General. With the DA's office, he was suggesting Trump could be indicted for tax fraud. But, to my mind, what's legal is just as much of a scandal. Trump took advantage of elaborate tax systems designed to protect his wealth and shield him from consequences. In fact, he and his allies have long argued that rather than shaming this behavior, he should be proud of it.
The reality is, this is part of our tax code. The man's a genius. He knows how to operate the tax code.
There's no one who's shown more genius in their way to maneuver around the tax code and to rightfully use the laws to do that.
As a businessman and real estate developer, I have legally used the tax laws to my benefit. I have brilliantly used those laws.
Maybe he doesn't want the American people, all of you watching tonight, to know that he's paid nothing in federal taxes, because the only years that anybody's ever seen were a couple of years when he had to turn them over to state authorities when he was trying to get a casino license, and they showed he didn't pay any federal income tax. So if he's paid...
Oh, he's actually smart. That makes me smart. When Einstein unveiled his theory of relativity and leaned into the mic and said, "Get ready, guys, it's genius o'clock." More importantly, it doesn't make you smart, it makes you powerful. There are plenty of smart people who pay their taxes in full every year because they don't have the armies of accountants and vampire lawyers that rich people like Trump or companies like Amazon have. Regular Americans can't get away with this stuff because the law or the IRS will come down hard on them. A ProPublica investigation found that the 5 counties with the highest audit rates are all predominantly African American, rural counties in the Deep South. Meanwhile, the Trumps and Amazons of the world skate by without any consequence, and that's because the system is rigged to protect them. If the IRS found out you did what Trump is accused of, your response would be, that's the big takeaway here. Trump is not unique. He's a product and enabler of a corrupt system that shields the wealthiest and most powerful in our society while crushing everyone else. 91 companies paid no federal taxes in 2018. Companies like Amazon, Chevron, or Starbucks. Meanwhile, tens of millions of Americans are out of work, struggling to support health care, and waiting in line at food banks. Some of his allies don't just benefit from that system, they're trying to preserve it. That's why they're so deeply invested in making sure he stays in power any way they can. Remember, 2017 tax law that wrote in so many obscure tax loopholes to benefit the wealthy.
I thought they gave you the...
Sprawling in the margins of the bill at the last minute.
It's the night we're going to be voting on the tax bill. I just got the tax bill 25 minutes ago. This is the tax bill. See how thick it is? That's what it looks like. Oh, no, let's look at the bill. This is what it really looks like. I want you to take a look at this, folks. This is your government at work. Here's the bill as it's written. Here's the modifications that are in it. I can read one word. It's called add this language. Can you tell me what that word is? If you can, you got better eyes than me.
They scribbled tax loopholes in the margins like a high school senior signing a yearbook. KIT, see you next year. Trump and people like him were protected and enriched by a rigged system. Then they got in office and rigged it even more, and now they're desperate to convert that system, which is why they're pulling out all the stops to raise to get a 6-3 conservative.
I don't know how to use the things. I thought there was
People have already started voting.
Christmas tree type of
Amy
stuff.
Coney Barrett has a history of ruling against workers and consumers and for big business, which is why right-wing billionaire Charles.
Of course, I'm short, just by a tiny bit to get that shit done.
Announced his nomination to Barrett, although I have to say he didn't sound quite as excited as you'd expect.
Now we gather in the Rose Garden to continue our never-ending task of
ensuring equal justice and preserving the impartial rule of law. The entire Notre Dame law facility, and faculty, everybody at that school also, we got so many letters, also wrote letters of support for Amy's nomination to the 7th Circuit.
Classic facility and...
Of course I got mail. Why weren't I mail the moment I teleport away?
You sound like a transistor radio that's low on batteries. I'm surprised he didn't have to slap himself in the face like a long-haul trucker trying to stay awake.
Only 12 hours till Phoenix. You can make it.
The reality is self-important, but we couldn't care less about the Supreme Court or the Constitution or whatever else Stephen Miller wrote for him to say on Saturday. I guarantee you he flipped through that speech 5 minutes before he gave it, the way he flipped through a golf digest at a dentist's office. This was the bargain Trump made with conservatives in the institutional Republican Party. They put up with his racism and his corruption and his incompetence and his abuse of power. As long as he gave them the tax cuts that the conservatives wanted, over 200,000 the president has just been exposed to one of the greatest penalties in American history. And the strongest condemnation Republicans can muster is this big closer look. God's love, we deliver a cook and drink of we need your help if you're watching this online. Donate to wear a mask.
Oh my god, I'm so sick of that guy bugging out. It's not the first time it's happened. Got 2 males now. They're just like, you know what? We're gonna give you money, and you could be literally, you know, buying and selling shit right now because your shit isn't full. I really want to do it. God damn it.
you out. Right? I look at the locker room and I'm saying, when I first came in, they were in fifth grade, fourth grade. I'm looking at like, and this is like real life because when I came in, I was 17, 18 years old, and I'm playing against dudes who's 32, my age now,
Grown men, families,
grown men walking down, got 4 or 5 kids, like kids 16 years old, like they're the same age as I am, and I'm like, how it flips so fast.
Like you look around, I think Ron said this year, definitely this year, maybe last year, he was the oldest also. He was a 10-year also. Then he said, you wake up with him, you look around, you're like, holy shit, like, I'm just wait, how did this happen? Just being the kid, you know what I'm saying? Like, let me ask you, Chris, like, what does 14-year NBA net champion say to a 17-year-old fresh out of high school?
How do you do hot? I partnered with Arm & Hammer Baking Soda. Did you know that you can do hundreds of STEM experiments using Arm & Hammer Baking Soda and other household products? I took my...
With all your wisdom, ups, downs, wins, failures.
I remember 17-year-old.
Right?
Right?
What do you, if you can impart any wisdom on the young kid, 17-year-old J.R. Smith, what are you talking about?
More than anything, I would say, obviously, watch out for
So I want to get into the season a little bit. Early on, obviously, with the acquisition of different guys, academic teammates, and all that good stuff. How is this season? If you had to, talk to us about how this season has been for you, what would you say? How would you categorize this season?
We always talk about the organization that personal person ups and downs. But for us, it's hard because we always step into the training camp to looking at the gym. That's the first thing we look at. September 25th, whatever it is. Our mindset is we're going to stay healthy and obviously but some days you're going to need Kyle, you can take a day off. Regardless of how whatever our injury and stuff like that sets up, that's what it is. We're going to look at, okay, maybe Friday we can take a day and 2 off. He hasn't taken a day off, which is ridiculously impressive, but we look at our whole body September to June. The last 4 years, three training camps around. And seeing our roster dramatically change in the season like that and still be one of the top teams in the league or even better than when we started off, it's crazy.
Has that ever happened with the team? Have you been part of the team with just straight crazy, right?
Not on the team. The trade, the Washington, I don't want to say role players, but for lack of a better word, that's what it is. But at the same time, it's people that fit the system better. And I think that's for our GM, call it LeBron/GM, whatever they want to call it, or however they fix it out and work it out, it works. It works.
When I was preparing for this show, because like other people on the show, prepare. I take my craft seriously.
His preparation was going on your eyes. That's it. That's all he's looking at.
I was looking at, how this season, forget when we lost all that stuff. You guys have had 8 players at one point or another out, have missed action for some reason or another. Okay? And the head coach.
Yeah, that's great.
I'm older than both you guys by a couple months.
You still the threes?
Yeah, I'm gonna threes forever.
Oh, okay,
forever.
True.
I've never, in all my years of just being around the game, in the game, man, I've never ever seen a season like this. So many players that miss action, and the head coach. Like in your experience, like, do you notice that? Like, you lived through this season.
I've never seen it. Off the top of my head, I have the players that we have.
I've got quite an assortment of
It's really
goods to
been,
offer
you
you.
know, honestly a true testament to, you know, the core guys you guys have that you can able to like withstand. Storm, obviously, I always say half joke of this, like, it's not a great that comes with LeBron. There's also a spotlight that comes with LeBron. So everything you guys do is used.
Right. And that could be good or bad depending
Yeah.
on how you play.
Yeah.
Getting shots, having rebounds, and locking up. That game would
Are
be
you
great.
looking for something
But
specific?
on the other side, if somebody's cooking you or you're not making shots, it's terrible. It's the worst. Because they like you said, that spotlight is on you and everybody knows though, because you're on LeBron's team, you gotta be not LeBron, but the next thing under LeBron. Like if you playing with LeBron, they expect you to be Kobe D. Wade or Chris Bosh or somebody like that. Like it's just it don't happen like that.
Right. A friend of mine, you know, very close friend of mine, you know, I don't fly. I fly a lot. A friend of mine, so I was telling him about a tough break after those.
My goods are
And
top
telling him
quality,
the story about
the
the
very,
plane,
very best.
and my friend says, "Hey Pete, no one wants to die in a plane crash. Definitely don't want to die in a plane crash." And I'm like, what's the difference? He goes, well, the difference is it'll be LeBron and others perish.
For sure.
Your name won't even be mentioned. He's like, you don't want that to happen. You really saw all the bottom of the newspaper. You know what I'm saying? You know, I feel like, and I love your book. I feel like you don't get enough credit for being amazing. There's been ups and downs in the season. This player gets acquired. Maybe your role changes, maybe it doesn't. You say all the right things. You say whatever the team needs you to do. I'm human, which isn't necessarily how I would want it, but whatever you need me to do, I'm here for service. Trades happen again. You know, your role changes. You may not get the looks you get, shot attempts, all this stuff. No one, people that know basketball,
There's a big difference.
100%. Not just fans of basketball that watch basketball.
It's a huge difference.
People that know basketball who don't just look at the numbers, look at the expected numbers, right? Look at looks, plays you actually call yourself, actual shots you take, time, all of those things. I think for me it speaks to your maturity, right? We talk about you being only 14 years where you don't got to tell me I want you to ask. I know just as a human, as a competitor, there's things you haven't necessarily loved, but you've taken them all in stride and said whatever is best for the team. You talk a little bit about that, about being a pro in your 14th year, putting the team first, even whether you agree or don't at times, putting the team's goals first and kind of going with the flow and saying, hey, listen, what's that process done?
It's tough because for me, I'm a natural born scorer. That's what I've done. That's what I've been doing at my whole career. Taking a shot, you can make a shot, without no fear or nothing. And I've lived like that. So it's tough. It's tough at times. It was tough at times until I want to change.
Just two people. All of you were professional. Well, again, I don't want to make this. Get to the championship game. You get to the show. Get there. There's trophies, there's ribbons, there's whatever you want to say. You only get ribbons and the spelling bee.
I was about to say.
I'm sorry. Once you won a championship.
Yeah, once I won a championship, it was totally, my mindset was totally different. Granted, when I first got traded to Cleveland, I still had that New York Knicks mindset of whether I come on the bench or whether I start, I'm going to get mine. I just need everybody else to do what they got to do. And it might not have been it might not have been that.
So, are you looking for something specific?
It's not why I was broke there, I would say that. You know, for me, to know how to actually play the game and know how to, you know, I grew up playing point guard position. granted, I could score, but I always seen the extra pass. Just sometimes I never made the extra pass because I wasn't sure if he was going to make it or not. And it's almost a better shot than
Bet on
me was
yourself,
taking.
yeah, no doubt.
And him open, you know.
Absolutely.
And that's always the way that I play. Like my coaches, even from my rookie year up until this point, they always told me, "Don't shoot the ball, shoot the ball. I don't care if somebody's in front of you, if they're not touching you, they're not playing." And for me, it was tough because obviously I can play right for you, but at the same time, Brian demands so much attention that you're gonna get open. Being the player that he is, he's gonna pass you the ball. So when you're ready, when he's ready to give it to you, you better be ready to shoot.
Always aim to meet my customers'
I never looked at it from a standpoint of, man, I don't get no plays. Up until, I can't say that, up until this year. Like, this year, when, struggles and not making shots and stuff like that, I was shooting below 30% threes. Never happened. And it was like, man, why are you struggling so bad? Why are you not playing? Why are you playing so bad? How about you help me out? Let me a little play so I get a layup, maybe just to see the ball go in. Yeah. That changes the whole game. It was a struggle with me for that for a while until, of course, my wife been there for 10 years now. She just told me, maybe it's not your time. Your time is always your time is gonna come, but right now it's not your time. And I've just been waiting, being patient, working on my craft, staying ready as much as I could, and fortunately, my time as a great.
It's amazing. I always say shooters. You're a victim of that. I always say shooters are very similar to a defensive backer. Right? DB, you get burned deep for a touchdown, you gotta have it. That shit never happened. Short term. Here we are again, right? You can miss 5 shots, and it's like, oh, we're coming to you.
Oh, for sure.
You gotta shoot this 6 like you're 5 to 5 at this point.
Right.
So, for you, I honestly believe, look, there's great shooters. Steph may be the greatest shooter we've ever seen.
No, ain't no maybe.
Yeah. So talk about that. You think Steph is the greatest shooter?
The greatest shooter we've ever seen.
Why do you feel that strong? I agree with you. I just want to.
Because the shots that he makes is by far some of the toughest shots I've ever seen taken. Let alone made. Crossing over behind the back, just letting it go, turning around, just running the other way. And ain't nothing else to be said. When I let this thing go, don't go for the rebound. You need to get back. And that's extreme. I mean, not only is it extreme confidence, but that's talent. That's a talent to have. His dad is obviously arguably one of the top 15, 23, looking going by as shooter. But for him to make all of those shots off the dribble, for him to work. The shot he made against Oklahoma City 2 years ago, like, oh, God, great.
I think the thing that separates him is he got the ball on the string too, right? His father didn't really have that. He got it on the string and the quickest release in the game.
Sure.
Those two you can't argue. At any height, at any level, at any basketball game, that's gonna win every time.
I'm gonna take it a step further. A lot of similarities between this game.
I'm just gonna transition here, switch. Switching gears a little bit, not too crazy, but LeBron has been compared to each other a lot. And as of late, and just played, and not for nothing, I see the similarities. I see it because the vision, triple-double machine, all of that fun stuff. I guess what I want to ask you is do you see the same similarities that everybody else sees, and how far do you think Ben Simmons can go?
I think he can go as far as he wants to go. The only difference between, and I can't honestly say different because I'm not with him on a day-to-day basis, but the only difference that I could possibly see is LeBron's work ethic compared to his work ethic. I'm not in question it, but I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
You can speak for LeBron,
but I can speak for LeBron. Regardless of if he went 2 for 10 or if he went 18 for 18, he's going to be in the gym the next morning. He's the first person there, and he's one of the last people to leave. He's working around the clock on his body and the way he eats. Every week, y'all see the book. So the only thing I can say about him this date is his work ethic. Anything like LeBron, this guy's funny.
conversation has been coming up very often, as I right? Yeah, so, you know, the reason why I'm excited about this book is because it's another shooting. J.R. and I respect each other. And we're not going to do it. Oh, sure. Just saying, call him a spade a spade. So recently, Ray Allen, who was one of LeBron's teammates in Miami, was asked, you know, who he thought the GOAT was for the discussion. LeBron and MJ, and I want you to hear his comment if you have it, and I want you to comment on his comment and B, yours on something.
You played against MJ and Kobe and with LeBron. So where do you stand?
Yeah, I've seen all of them, and by far, it's Michael Jordan. I think he's in a conversation of himself. MJ is just on a different level because MJ, we're not talking about numbers. We're talking about his ability. You know, like he played with dominance. He played with force. He also played with finesse.
By far.
Your initial thoughts on that?
By far, absolutely not. Obviously.
Take your time. Have a look around.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, growing up, obviously, I got the jersey tattoo. The greatest of all time in my opinion, up until 2 years ago. And I was with Ray by far. But the last couple of years, 3 years old, averaging a triple-double a whole month, walking into the playoffs, just hit 31,000 points the other day, hit 30,000 points earlier this year, 8,000 rebounds, 8,000 assists. It's insane. Like, I mean, how far do we have? Like, what more do we have to keep going as far as whether it's numbers or just ability? Like, at what point do we just say when?
I have this argument all the time. Not with Pete, because we're on the same page, but with other people. And the only argument that I get in return is the era that Jordan played. And I was like, well, LeBron can't help what year he was born. That the era of the way they called fouls back then, and that it was tougher for Mike to score.
So I'm glad you brought that up. There were a lot of bums in there.
100%. 100%.
There were a lot of bums because a friend of mine sent me a clip of MJ scoring 60-something on the Cavs. Craig Elo was scoring. Any idea what our guest today would do to Craig Elo?
Let me ask you this. Who was Craig Elo's backup?
I don't even know.
He caught some of that too. It
No,
wasn't
that's
just
my point.
Craig.
It's like,
So that's what I'm saying.
like,
We can't even name his backup.
But that's my point. Even guys that were like great defenders back then, no disrespect to them, and normally when you say no disrespect, you're really disrespectful. Right. Bill Laimbeer couldn't make an NBA team today. John Sally could not make an NBA team today. Maybe they do, maybe the 10, 11 guys, on a skill level, they're not there. These guys were starting guys also, you know, like, so when you look at it that way, and I'm not saying there wasn't great players there. There were some guys. I'm just saying we're getting to the point in time where MJ's played so long that now it's, I caught a fish this big. MJ never lost a game. MJ won every game. He averaged 50. He also averaged 27 shots a game.
Just like if I don't see footage of the World Champions for the court game,
it never happened.
You're not gonna hold up a piece of paper next to your ear, bro.
I think it was like Brown made a very true statement about that situation. It could have been somebody's 100th birthday. What's up,
for real,
whatever. But we've never seen this.
Never seen it.
He averaged 50 rebounds.
And now,
no footage.
Now everyone from that era's gone. Everybody dead.
Nobody can relate to that.
I'm still from that.
That's what.
My challenge on all this Bron MJ thing is, listen, these guys, our guest being one of them, they're a different type of savage, man.
100%.
Like these guys, athletic ability, all that. And look, I'm not saying those guys weren't tough guys and all that stuff. Check rules, hand checking, all that. I get it. They weren't 7'2" guards back then.
No, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
and it's great. And even back then, you would look at it like, wait, Chicago lost to the Sixers. What? Like you'd be like completely astonished. Yes. Now you'd be like, oh, Ben must have kicked up.
Yes.
Joel Embiid must have just, you know what I mean? Like you've got guys that can have that competition.
MJ's peers at the time that he was being compared to were Clyde Drexler. He didn't have to go through the Golden State Warriors when he was 7 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm just saying, if we're gonna keep it a buck, let's keep it a buck. Guys today are bigger, faster, you know,
And
more
Ron
athletic.
played against more Hall of Fame.
Like, you know, so I just, and then the automatic one that always makes it happen is they go to 66. Hey, that's a team goal. Let's keep that up. It's not act like MJ ain't played with 2 Hall of Famers. Right? And a Hall of Fame coach. Right? So that's a team goal. But my point also is MJ played, I want to say 16 seasons. So 10 years he didn't even make the finals. So if we're going to tell the story, let's tell the whole story. And look, I'm not here shitting on Mike. I had his posters up in my wall too.
1,000%. I got a sneakers on right now.
And I agree with you 100%, Swish, that up to 2 years ago, I would tell LeBron, MJ to go. And you know what the greatest is? LeBron would tell you. 100%.
He's the greatest. The last thing, if you really want to keep it a balance, is how when these guys, these upper echelon guys, leave, become free agents, and become at their choice of where to go, ain't nobody coming to the East, bro. People are out of here. They'd rather load up the West and try their shot than come to the East and run into that buzzsaw. Like,
every time.
The fact that he's shaping the NBA like this, dog, like, that's a whole
But
different
even that, like, people, like, the last, since he's been in the league, everybody's like, oh, the East is the weak, the East is that, East is this. Up until a week, 2 weeks ago, people wasn't saying that. It was like, oh, Victor Oladipo got Indiana playing, unbelievable. Philly's coming. Boston is just loaded up.
Milwaukee with all the
Milwaukee is this. Miami is there. Like, they got all this talk, but now all of a sudden, oh, well, we won 11 out of the last 12. And, it's the East, though. There's the East is weak. Like, at what point do you just give credit for credit? That's all I'm saying.
Speaking of the East, I know from, you know, Gino called you Glenn, like a real friend and family. Kyrie recently, you know, announced that, have you spoken to him? You got the chance, I mean, you're busy, he's busy and all that, but I know you had a relationship with him, you still do, right? And showed him love when you guys played each other. Have you had the chance to speak to him at all since he's been out?
I haven't. Kyrie's different. It's not that way. There's nothing wrong with that. Long story. He's part of the system. When I was coming up, Kobe, throw a little jab out or something like, oh, that was you, whatever. So I could, and I would see that in time, like that, I was going, like, that's just who he is. And mindset, there's nothing wrong with it. So I don't take it. That's why he's having a hell of a career all the time.
This is the best time in the NBA. This is the best part.
For a little bit of context, we're recording this video on Sunday, so we don't know playoff matches yet.
We don't know. But I have a question. I see what this says, but I have a talk about it. So I want to ask. Okay, there's 4 potential first round points. Pacers is Bucks. This paper is not that it's asking me to ask you which one would you rather take. That's my question is, which team do you guys match up with the best, and that you would rather see in the first round? The Pacers, the Bucks, the Heat, or the Wolves?
Any questions? Bucks.
Heat over
Depot, Reed Creek of the Bucks, John Wall.
He said this fact. Just stood up. Okay, hold up.
See, this is where I get personal. See, last year, like, so, and everybody knows, like, John is like my little brother. I love John. He's tremendous talent. And everything else. Capability. But I would say I would watch it. I would get this out of the way. Get this done. Talk about it. Get to y'all in the South. Still got work afterwards. Y'all, we ducked y'all, so therefore, get to it. Let's get it out the way.
So listen, I don't expect there's not another playoff question to ask. I'm good, man. So when he said, well, we're gonna pivot something that I know, you and I, you texted me immediately. That's happening, right? Supreme. That was so fire. That was such a great look, dude. That was such a great look.
That was killer.
Hey, so he sent me the text. He's like, "Yo, you see this?" And I'm like, "Wow, no." And I don't know if you know what our conversation said back to me. 1,000%. That campaign shouldn't have gotten to anyone else other than Switch. Like, it spoke to everything, not only what we grew up wearing and how we wore it and all that, but just the person that he is, that his body was supreme in what they tried to put across. How'd that happen? How'd that come about? As a child, you have to make it.
It's again,
I remember that.
So this was like 2 months. I had to sleep tucked.
Ready.
Yeah, I had to sleep tucked. I was going to wear it at the yard. It's not good. This is wrong. This is the wild guard.
These mountains are our home.
I got it's like I got that. So we were at home. I seen it was cool though because I looked at it like, that's dope because it's just the wave that's coming. You know what I'm saying? It's just like back in the day, obviously this guy fresh to death. The way we grew up, like you said, we gravitated to the street appeal. Like hip hop, you know what I mean? That's our outlet. That's how we got our swag. If I was sitting there dressing like Nigga, I was somebody like that, I'd just shut up back and say this swag is rap, that's whatever, it's stylish, but that don't fit me. So if I'm out here doing what somebody else is doing and not fitting myself, I don't fit in the culture. I fit in by being me.
And you can see that just by looking at it. First minute you look at somebody, you know if that look is them or if they trying. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And that's the one thing I didn't want. I never wanted to be the person that was trying. So the spring offer came to me and it was just like, I gotta do that because that's me. You know what I'm saying? It's not like if I catch somebody else in the security, well, I'm gonna be like, that's not you. You know what I'm saying? That's not you, man. You would have been in school suspension wearing that shirt. I would have been over here, man.
So let me ask you, it's also an exciting time of the year where most of our listeners are probably thinking like, oh, it's exciting because playoffs are around the corner and whatnot. For you, it's exciting for a number of reasons. One is to the Masters, to the court, right? I know you're, but people that mean, I know you actually supposed to. So yeah, so it's also Scott, like you're considered one of the top 28 dunkers. How often? When did the love for golf start? How often do you play?
The crazy part about it, that's the emotional part. This is, I was playing with Shard Lewis. Well, actually, I was just supposed to be actually. So, no disrespect, man. I don't know if you feel me, but I was like, yes, and I'm talking trash. I don't make up and stuff. So he's out there hitting guys.
How old are you at this point? How old are you?
I'm like 19, 11. Man, y'all trash. Y'all first time out the gate, he showed me how to hold the club and all that. And I was like, I'm a person who, if I can see you do it, I can do it for sure. So, I watched him come down the street. I get up there, driving all back, then I pull up on the group again, because I was gone for a long time. So I pull up on the group again, and man, y'all come do it again. They can't be here. I get up there, I couldn't. I swear. And after that, I bought like 3 sets of golf clubs in like 4 days. So I was on it. It's still in. I mean, I got my passion was, and that's what
Wow. Give me the top 4 NBA.
currently playing. I would say Steph. I recognize probably I'm not going to say surprisingly, these other guys that play golf, they play this for, they play all day long and practicing 45 hours a day. Listen, he coming up with 300 3-pointers in the NBA season playing 82 games and come out here and still like playing well, which is, like I said, it's crazy. But if I have to go 1 through 4, it's probably him. Kyle Korver, myself, CP's got a lot better.
Yo, I actually have a CP story. So we're in Vegas 2 summers ago. Gold fam in town. And it's like during summer, a lot of gold up. Ara actually, put together a trip. We're going to Top Mountain. Right? Top Mountain. Which is basically, for you people that don't know, it's mostly like bowling, golf, and nightclub all mixed in.
All mixed in. Especially in Vegas.
Right?
They got the pool over there.
No, it's next level, right? So, you know, I'm left Eastern with a white club. I don't play golf, never tried it, whatever. So I go up there and I can play CP's fitness. So I said, I don't know. CP, you play often? I have a simulator in my crib.
That's serious.
Play often, you go. You're going to style on me, fam. You could have said yes. Yes. You know, yes.
Oh, he's good for that, though. He's good for that.
That's very good. And you won, I remember a couple years ago at the XP as a golf tournament. You won that stuff, right? A year ago?
Yeah, I went to my group one. It was crazy because at first, I was in LA. I was really playing. I played so bad the day before. I was like, nah, you know, just do it better, of course. I can't do it. It's like Dominic, this group, and different celebrities, races out there, all these guys who actually play, like really good. And first of all, that winner, it was a special moment. Like my first golf trophy. First got that first big league trophy. Go up to each app, mom, back swing, down, and all that. You know what I'm saying? But you get your first golf trophy, that was dope.
So we're gonna get you out of here, but before we get you out of here, what are you gonna be listening to in your headphones? You know, when it's time, as I like to call it, time to get to the money. Playoff time. Right. What are you listening to out of your headphones and the whip on the way to the arena and the locker room? What's getting you in the right frame?
The last couple of years, I listened to Bryson when I shoot, pregame warm-ups, when I shoot, it's like it's got to be built kind of vibe, shoot. I know how good and how bad I'm shooting from the ground. I listen to his album. I know my routine. Track 3. I know I'm shooting bad. I can already laugh at it. I'm saying? So I know. You know what I mean? I got it synced in my head, but at this point right now, I'm listening to Pablo. That's so, it's so underrated, bro.
I don't know, it aged very well, dog.
It's
That album was fire.
crazy. Like, we all know, we talk a lot. He's so
Top 5 like, not all time, right now. Right now. Davey, that was my thing.
right. That's why I give. That's why being from the East. That's why I give him that nudge.
It's funny you say this. Someone said this the other day and it blew my mind. They said Davies and Nipsey are like twin brothers that separated at birth.
Hey, one is on the West and one is on the East. For sure.
Right? That's the most absolute fact.
100%.
Wow.
100%.
Insane. Anyone else you listen to right now that you're excited about? Here's a different opinion. You know, Rick Kendrick's great.
He's amazing,
right? I don't know if you want to listen to cover. I don't know how to play Kendrick in the whip. All day.
No, I'm definitely. I went to that.
You gotta be in the mood. You gotta be in the moment. You can't just be like, I'll start my day, brush my teeth.
Yeah,
I have a headache.
I gotta go through something like something happened where I was like, you know what? The hell with like that. Just like the house is there. Obviously, that's like. But I ain't say J. Cole. J. Cole's obvious.
And I don't know if you guys know this, we went double platinum.
No, all you gotta do is in this day and age, you got somebody like Quavo who make hooks like that, and you just like, nah, I got my own shit.
I don't need Bryson Tiller for this hook. I don't need nobody. I'm good. Last question. We'll get you out of here. J.R. Smith, NBA champion, 14 seasons. All the accolades. 6 men of the year, however many degrees you could have at this point. It's all said and done, which hopefully won't be 4 or 5 years, whatever you decide. Avoid something. There you go. Yeah, 6 more. There you go. 6 more, 20. Whatever he wants to be. How do you find someone says J.R. Smith?
I think at the end of the day, like, I don't ever want to feel like like, when I was coming up, I never feel like the older guys like really embraced it. Like, a lot of times I like, think about these comparisons, our comparisons to people who had us. It was always like the ego. It's just like, this is a certain way you go about possession, whatever you want to do. I'm talking about similarities. So, I'm not trying to tell them what to do, but just give them a little insight. It's something that I would look for. I would hope somebody would have told me. I never want to shine or try to overshine. Some of my knowledge, not all of it. want it. But you know, I hate you in the summertime. I expect you to give me back. You know,
It's bigger than basketball.
it's bigger than basketball. Like, I know your wife, I know your kids, I know how you move, I know how you don't move. I know everything about you, bro. Like, I know more about you than probably your family. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I look at you, I take those to heart. I never try to. I'm a rapper, I'm a rapper. I'm not gonna rap with you, I'm not gonna rap with you. I don't know anything to it.
Can't think of a better way to end it.
One thing I can say is this stuff is always be yourself, unapologetic. Stand for yourself, do the thing you got. And that's the way I met him. And that's the way I got to be myself. So, be that as a real that I got.
It's all over here. There's footage. There's footage. It just hasn't been the right time. It's buried in Puerto Rico. You guys have PCR?
What, man? Get that formatted quick. Look at that formatted. Close the show. Switch. I appreciate you, my brother. I love you. Get on the show. You already know. Good luck in the playoffs. And good luck with the golf swing and all of that fun stuff. So we appreciate you, man. Feel free, obviously, to continue to stuff. All that, all about it. And we'll catch y'all on the next one.
We're a different breed, aren't we? We won't rest. We succeed. We will win.
Welcome back to All the Smoke, episode 1. Hope you guys enjoyed episode 0, man. Tremendous feedback. Love it. Appreciate the support. If you haven't seen me yet, Showtime Basketball YouTube channel. Yes.
What?
So Mom, where my color?
Can I
get
I
it?
always talk with him because I can tell
Yep.
you a lot like me. I got to be teammates with this whole environment. Man. JR, man. Appreciate you coming through, bro. Appreciate you. Oh, we forgot to do our handshake too now. We look close. We ain't that like. Can you blow on your hand?
I can't help it if I'm moisturized, dog. God damn. Yeah, because I'm bored. My hands are nice and
Texas, dog. You gotta go.
man.
You know, it's hot out there in Texas.
I love you playing with your nuts. And what you doing? Hands sweaty than this.
Jergens, man. This Jergens really works, dog.
Okay. Anyway, man, we here. The opening night of the season. I mean, me and Jack talked about this before you got here. There's no way you should be sitting here right now, man. What's the latest? What's going on? We just caught word on social media that the Lakers are very interested. You know anything about that? Or
I don't. I worked out with sometimes I think like we always do, like most of the time. Nobody ever called. So good. So right now, I'm just trying to stay ready. People crack me up because they're like, man, you still working on it. First of all, I love the game. Second of all, I gotta stay healthy for the rest of my life, bro. I'm not trying to just go out there and look like a football player. I thought I've been playing basketball all my life.
that shit happens easy too.
Yeah, man, we seen, y'all seen it. I mean, come on.
We come from a different crowd though, so I understand when you say you really love the game.
Right.
Like people don't understand that they put their feelings in different situations about the game and things you've been through or we've been through. They don't understand we just love the game. We love the game before anything, before we got to the NBA. You know what I'm saying? And that's a lost art in the game.
It's different. It's different. Daily? You still working out daily? Okay. Well, you're one of the people that me and Jack thought that kind of started these videos of working out with the trainers.
You know, I think you were one of the first ones that kind of started with Chris back in New York. I think you and Mello were kind of the first one now, and now it's a regular fixture on Instagram. It's one of the dopest shits to watch during the summertime, because that's the times where everybody comes together, no matter what your team or who you are, and you just hoop. And I think that's some of the best basketball.
Yeah, for sure. It's crazy because when I did it, it was like just showing people like how much I love it, how much I appreciate it, man. It was like, some people feel like you helping around players like, oh, I need my trainer, or I need this person, I need that, I need somebody to rebound. Bro, all you need is your basketball and yourself. Like, that's how it started. I was in the backyard. I mean, luckily I had some of my brothers and stuff like that, my cousins, get around. But even when they wasn't there, come to the guard by myself. It didn't matter. Now I actually got a name and I can pretty much get into whatever gym I want. What's holding you back now? You know what I'm saying? Is it the girls, the cars, is it the lights? It's like, what's holding you back now? So many people, like, I'm happy I did it because obviously it turned, I helped turn it into what it is now.
It's viral now.
Yeah, but now it's like,
you have to do it for status. Yeah, for status now.
Yeah, now it's like, it's doing it for clout.
Yeah.
Now you clout chasing, not just because you love the game.
Every player feel like this something I got to get in one of those videos to make it look like I'm working out, to make it look like I'm playing with the best guys. And you got guys like you, Trey Young, that's really doing the work and going there to really get better. You know what I'm saying? Not just going to be seen.
And it changes because that's how the youth think. These kids, all they want to see is Instagram. They want to see how many likes they get in it instead of putting in the work to actually earn it. Yeah. You know, when we was growing up, you gave us a pair of sneakers at age 18. Like, yo, man, what they got?
Better get 30.
Man, what you need me to do?
And I went to the party.
Number one, I'm going to get 40 on that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was our motivation anyway to go destroy our opponent. But you get a pair of sneakers, now it's like, oh man, I get Instagram, like, yo, look, you chunk me out. You get a blue check. A blue check, but you get your own blue check. You get a bigger check than the blue check that you worried about. Like, what are you talking about?
It means more when you earn it.
Right.
Tell me the difference between, because I was always someone that you were one of the most skilled ball handling, off the dribble shooters the game has ever seen. Like, I've seen you work out in person. I've seen you just green light, but you're someone that bought into your role. Tell me what the difference is when you're able just to be you in the summertime and then understanding your role. You know, I was someone that understood my role, although I could score and do more. I knew what the fuck they needed me to do, and I did it until I didn't want to do it no more. You bought into a role, but you're someone that is a legend when it comes to pickup.
The thing about me was that was always my role. You know what I'm saying? My role was always to come in and, up until the fight in New York, I was starting, and Melo was the highest scoring duo in the league at the time. And so, you get to the fight, they come to the team shake it up, he goes to the bench. I was like, oh, bet, so now all I gotta do is score? That's right. And George was like, yeah, just go score as many points as you want. And then I was like, all right, well, cool. I'm just going there and put mines up and average 18, and then whatever they pick, I'm out. Then it was like, all right, that became my mentality. And then it was like, all right, well, now it ain't even about winning no more. He just wanted to go get points. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I didn't realize that I wasn't helping my team because all I got to do is go get my points, and then, you know what I'm saying, I got to figure the rest out. I'm going to get 30. I'm going to go get 18, whatever. Chuck going to get his 20-something or whatever. Kmart going to get his 12, 13, and 14 rebounds. MC going to do what he do. And then, we're going to get to that Western Conference Final. We couldn't get over the hump, but that's how the season went.
How talented was that team? AI, Melo, you, Kenyon.
When I tell you, practice was a movie every day. Every day. And it was crazy because Kmart was like, this is right after Kmart came from Jersey. This second knee surgery. He came back jumping higher.
Yeah.
I was like, man. Then we got MC, long as blocking. Give me that.
Yeah.
AI, then Chauncey came. It was like, it was wild.
What held y'all back though? Well, I mean, obviously the West is strong, but was chemistry? Because I know y'all fuck with each other, but sometimes that chemistry from like a fuck with it just don't work on the court. Was it any of that? Was you think John or George was a whole nut? Like, what was it that held you back? Because we had a similar situation with the Clippers where we had all the talent where we feel like we should have won a championship, but we ran into we butted heads too much as players.
As players, we never butted. I don't think we butted heads as players. It was just like I don't think it was a mature enough team yet. You know what I'm saying? We had a coach that was able to manipulate our minds, so we wanted to mature enough to be like, yo, man, we have that script. Right. Such and such said this, and we talked to you about it. You know what I mean? Opposed to, oh, that's what he said, that's how you feel? All right, bet. Well, I'm going to get my 35, and I'm going to get my 20-something, and then, you know what I'm saying? And it kind of wedges the gap within everybody into almost just get your stats. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard because if your main players is in that mindset, and then everybody else, I mean,
the league
don't
shut
get
down.
yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Kmart to death, but Kmart's not the dude gonna go get 30 a night.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
MC not that dude. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Wendell Clazer wasn't that dude. You know what I'm saying? Dante, you know, we didn't have the dudes that was doing that was in that situation where it was like we're gonna try to. They so tight, we're gonna where's that friction? You know what I'm saying? And that's how it kind of infiltrated me. And I don't blame him or them. I blame myself because I was still young. I had a ton of money. I thought I was like, man, look, y'all got to figure it out. Obviously, I'm doing what I got to do. You know what I'm saying? So I don't even start. So I don't even know how y'all even putting it on me. You know what I'm saying? Some days I play, some days I don't. You know what I'm saying? So it was like once that came into play, it tore the whole team.
What age did you feel like you started looking at it from a bird's eye view instead of everything being real personal?
I think when I got to New York.
How many years in the game? Because you came straight out of high school too, a lot, you know, and that's special to be able to make it. You know, that's something Jack did. To be able to come in at an early age as keep it real, a boy, playing against men and navigating your way through the whole process. So how long did it take you till you felt like, okay, I kind of look at it a little different?
Honestly, it took me like 11 years, 12 years. So that's when I got to New York, because it was like, all right, I'm at the crib, I'm home, and everybody's like, all right, what is he doing? Where are you going to go? What are you doing? This, what are you doing? I'm like, man, I'm really at the court. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I'm like, granted, I always had a name from high school and all that, playing ball, blah, 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 but when people start talking about you every day, talking about your social life, talking about who you dating, who you messing with, this and that, and then I'm like, yo, I'm that important? You know what I'm saying? Then I took a step back, I was like, wait a minute. Like, I ain't ready for all that. I played in New Orleans, played in Denver. I was in Oklahoma City for a year. Went to China, then come from China back to the crib, and then I'm not that guy, but I'm that guy on that team. It's like, damn.
Well, it's crazy too, because it's not something first of all, we're not really taught how to handle any of this shit. Money, but then when you play in the major market or for the part, you know, they don't teach you how to deal with all that shit coming at you and how you're a target. As soon as you step out of your house, sometimes you're talking in your own house, you know what I mean, with some of the shit. So they don't teach you how to navigate through that. And through that, I think all of us really have similar reputations throughout our career.
For sure.
You know, very similar.
Worse for y'all, because both of y'all played at home.
Major markets too, but on and off the court. You know what I mean? Where I beat shit, my shit's on TMZ and Sports Center. Two different things. I mean, two different crazy things. You know what I mean? So it's just like to be able to navigate through that shit. That's what weed helped me with. You know what I mean? That was something that allowed me to be able to focus through all the bullshit, because I still fucked up and made some mistakes, obviously, but it was something that made me just, you know, sit back and just take a different view. You know what I mean? Like, okay, there's a lot of potholes I got to dodge, man, and I got to slow down and take a seat back and kind of recalibrate, refocus, and that's something that really got me, because like I said, they don't teach us how to deal with that shit. They don't teach us how to deal with everything on top of the money that comes from that shit.
I mean, they forget that you had a life before they figured out who you was. You know what I'm saying? Like, before y'all figured out who I was, you realize, like, I had a whole family. I came from somewhere. I was standing for something. Y'all just found out who I was. I've had a whole life. Y'all just didn't know me.
You really don't know. But
you still don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They don't know you. They know who they think. You know what I mean? That's also, like I said, the perception of reality is reality sometimes. So they'll catch a glimpse of us 2 hours, you getting in a fight with the Knicks or some bullshit happening off the court. I know what they are. It's like, I know what Matt's like. Well, that's always fight. You know what I mean? They think they know who we are, but they never really get a chance to take that deeper look.
Right. And it's crazy because they don't take the chance that they don't care to learn. They don't care what's really going on. Like, what's going on? Let me figure out how I can help them instead of kicking them down or keeping them down where he at. You know what I'm saying? Like, people forget, I went to jail when I was in the league. Like I said, I did 24 days, 23 and 1 in the cell. Well, I got millions of dollars for a month, and I couldn't do nothing with it. I'm reaching out to people, I'm calling my NBA boys, all these people, yo, no crickets. I'm calling coaches, crickets. Only person can't see me once was Gert. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that shit hurt me. I feel like, you know what I'm saying? You my godfather, this is my man. You know what I'm saying? But, so to deal with all that, it come out. I'm on the warpath. I'm on the rage. I'm living my life. I'm reckless at this point. You know what I'm saying? But people look at me like, well, he just wilding out.
Look at him.
They don't know what triggered that. What happened between that? They don't realize.
They don't care.
They don't care.
They don't give a fuck. You know
I'm in an accident with my best friend. Passes away. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't ask me nothing about that. All you want to know is, did you do it? Or what happened? Was you under the influence? How about what happened? Like, is you good? Like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't care to learn from that. You know what I'm saying? So,
I think because he get paid a certain amount of money, they think it's how he was killed. I mean, like, that was when I lost my mom. You know what I mean? I played that to God. You know what I mean? And people don't understand, like, you go through the same shit. Wars, death, children, whatever, but we have to keep that game face on the whole time because we get paid a bunch of money. Right. I mean, so you can't be human. You got to be this person, like you said. They don't ever take the time to dig deep. You know what I mean? Like, okay, what he did this. What might be the reason? They don't give a fuck about that. And it's crazy.
Well, what's crazy to me is, why is it that athletes or basketball players are high as hell to the high? You know what I'm saying? Like, why is it that y'all look up to LeBron so much, or Steph so much, y'all hang on to every step the coach do? They tarnish their career and they go out of nowhere. The highest seat in the country is just in the world.
So the United States.
I mean, I can't even say the world at this point. It can't be at this point.
Not that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that is still, like, if it's different standards, then what, like, you can't, like, I don't understand. I just don't get it. Right. People get over it. But don't worry about it. I'm trying to figure shit out on my own. I got it.
Just, you know your worth. And that's what fuck people up. They can't tell you what you're worth when they don't control the narrative. It's a new day now. You control your own narrative. They can say what they want about you, but at the end of the day, you have the same outlet to say to speak the truth. Well, I mean, you can't just walk around and you gotta believe what they say. Now, create your own narrative, and that's what's important right now. You gotta give LeBron and all those guys credit. When he came into the league, he created a situation where he created his own narrative, his own rule, and nobody around him take it up for him. You know what I'm saying? And nobody's done that until he got to the league. Now we're all able to do that. They can't say Steven Jackson is doing this now. No, I'm on TV right now. Showtime's going well. You know what I'm saying? Everything you think about me, you know, that's bullshit. I'm right here. You can ask me. So that's where we at now. So they can't sugarcoat shit. That's what I love.
You can tell when the fan is video. It's not just walking into a arena. They just beat the whole team. You see, jersey now. So, oh, you're my favorite player. Then you actually see what
Yeah, you got it done. Now Walmart can help check off your gift list with free curbside pickup. Fast delivery from your Walmart store, or gifts shipped right to your door. Let's end the year to celebrate.
anime set and who really rocking to it with.
I think that's special. Tell me what it was like being with Ron, playing with Ron, developing more than just teammates, a real brotherhood with him.
It was crazy because I knew Ron since I was like 15.
Really?
Yeah, I used to act work out with him and shit.
How old were you at the time?
I was 15, he was 16.
Okay.
No, I was 16, he was 17. He's going back and forth like good. I'm coming from the best dudes, Jersey, Charleston area, you know what I'm saying? Like me and Sebastian, John Lion, you be in high school, he flying. 220, handles, passing, vision, and the thing I like the most was I wasn't in the basketball, but I played football. Dude, darn nice at football. I was more jealous of the fact of football. Like, well, you got it basketball, all right, cool. You can't score touchdowns like this and get picks and all that. Damn, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's what hurt me. But that's my man. Like, his work ethic and his drive changed my life. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I looked at it from a different perspective. I was always a person who worked. And insecure in my game, I didn't really want people to see it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want them to see the insecurities that I had, or me missing shots.
We all have them.
Yeah, so we all have them within our game, because that's our craft. We love it so much that that's, you know what I mean? That's what it is. And he helped me out, like, yo, it's the reason why you're here. This is why we're here. So when we get to those moments, we'll miss those shots. You know what I mean? And he pounded that shit in my head so much that every day I was in the gym 3-4 times a day. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't just like, because I was go early, I would say everybody leave and wish you late, and then I come in at night. But then when he opened up the regiment nuclear, I was like, all right, cool, I can shoot with you, I can shoot with you, I can shoot with you. Without that, I can maybe shoot with him, and I can shoot with him. I wasn't like that before. It was like, all right, I'll shoot by myself, and my daughter, and I'll shoot with him. You know what I'm saying? Or no back, I'll shoot with him. I mean, I had my people, but it wasn't like, I wasn't as open into working with everybody. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I take my shit serious. Like, I don't, when I'm working on my shit, I'm not playing around, making it seem like I'm shooting some bullshit shots. These are the shots that I know I'm a shooter. You know what I'm saying? And these are my shots that y'all brought me here to shoot, because you know I'm a shooter. And when the situation comes, I'm gonna make that shot. So people, that shit. I'm working on my shit, and I think that shit's serious though. But GMs and coaches, and why is it over there with me? Why is it doing that? I feel like I can't be myself within my job to work on my craft respectfully without somebody else already judging me on who I am, and now you judging my game on top of you probably don't even like it.
Right. It's crazy. That tells you, you know what I mean, the organization and their focus. Because I was on the play with KD and Steph to see the crazy ass shots that they took. Like, coaches understood it. The GMs understood it. The owners understood it. Like, okay, Steph is doing this spin around, one left-handed flip shit, but Steph shoots them motherfuckers in the game and he makes them. KD is doing this off-balance one-foot shit, but KD shoots them off-balance one-foot shit and makes them. KD made these do that shit. So to go from a winning organization that encourages you to work on your game to you having to feel so insecure, like these motherfuckers are staring at me tripping about my game, I think that speaks to, you know, the fact of winning. You know what I mean? Like then you go to Cleveland where LeBron creates a culture where be you. That's the most important thing. You work your ass off and it works.
It'd be crazy because if I had that, I feel like if I had that earlier in my career, 2-3 years in, and I could actually had it the way I wanted to. I'm a whole different player. You know what I'm saying? Just a different vibe. And I don't live in the past, but that's obviously something that you know what I mean? You know how. I mean, when you coming up in high school and you know, as a kid, you know a certain way you want your career to go, you want championships and all that. And then at a certain point, that shit don't happen. Then reality says like, all right, this is my role, this is my play, this is the kind of person I'm going to be. I'm going forward. That shit ain't easy to grasp sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta,
you set a high bar.
You set a high bar for yourself. You get to where you want to be.
Right.
Maybe all right, cool. I ain't go number one pick, but I'm in it. I'm gonna make my shit. All right. I'm not gonna start now, but all right, cool. I'm gonna work my way. All right, cool. Now I'm 6 man. All right, bet. I'm gonna start, and then I get pushed back. Like, you thinking about all of this shit. This is a timeline. This is your life. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And all of this, the feelings and emotions, but then you get to kids. You married. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, allow all that shit come into play.
As basketball players too, we don't understand, especially being all their fathers, been dominant men. We take on roles just coming out the house. Without mastering the roles that we get naturally. Brothers, fathers, you know what I'm saying? Things like that, because we got so much wrong there. But I wanted to ask you too, Tim Duncan gave me that confidence. I see you was talking about LeBron and how y'all worked out together. I think Tim taught me that. And I think it's only certain players that got that in them that can get that out of us. We simple, but Tim Duncan able to work out with him, and for him to embrace me, that gave me confidence. You know what I'm saying? That's what I need. I wouldn't have been a professional. I didn't know how to show up. I didn't know how to work. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know how to get ready for games. You know what I'm saying? But you were talking about LeBron, Tim Duncan did that for me.
Just being, like, overall being a professional, like, I had some really good play. You know, always trying to push the thing and all the time, stuff like that. But I was in such bad cultures at times. So it was like, shit, it didn't even like you waiting on me. I could be, if the bus is at 10, I can show up at 12:05, and I'm still not the last person. I'm the third to the fourth to the last person. So when I go to somewhere else, and it's 12:05, and I come down and the bus gone, it's like, oh, where you left?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, all right, now I'm like, oh, all right.
That's why I always say winning starts at the top. And people are like, what does that mean? I mean, it starts with the owner, then it starts with management, it starts with coaching. You let shit slide, and it starts getting sloppy, then motherfuckers don't do what they do. Right. And they get comfortable in that position, and then you just can't win in that atmosphere like that. You can win games, but you're not gonna win.
Yeah. You know what I mean? That's the thing. Like, yeah, like you said, you're so talented. You have so much talent. Like,
you can have so too much.
Yeah, you can have too much. You can definitely have too much. You got to walk with 12. We go to have practice. That shit was live, bro.
I can imagine.
Like, we got people trying to switch jerseys. Man, like going back and forth, but it's on the competitive nature. You know, we go to locker room, talk shit. Yeah, but we busting our ass. You know what I mean? Yeah. Y'all know how it goes. It's like, it's at the end of the day when we left, we all knew. That's my motherfucker.
Y'all got better.
We get out of here and something happen, we all going. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it was. That's how it should.
All the time.
All the time.
What's your relationship with Melo like? I think you guys are in a similar boat right now. You guys can definitely have the talent to
you guys get fucked over. Keep it real.
Did you get that phone call too? Did you do it or?
Oh no. They saw how the man text we switched to.
What is that?
Do not fuck with it. Yeah, y'all stop all that hate, man.
Tell me what it's like knowing and seeing that you can still play in the game, but not really be given the opportunity.
It hurts, man. It's disheartening. It gives you an uncomfortable feeling, but they leave. Right. You know what I'm saying? I can do what y'all want with it. I ain't here to tell you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I got my business and all that, and you ain't about to come over here and tell me what I'm about to do. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I respect it for that, man. From a business standpoint, as a competitor, obviously put it down.
When you still can.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta understand, like, I play ball. I go to gym in LA, I go to gym in Houston, I go to gym in Miami, I go to New York, Chicago, wherever. What the record term is, and I had no business playing. But just because I love the hoop, you know what I'm saying? So in the midst of all of that, it just ain't no hating shit. It's just a matter of fact, he not better than me. 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 Right. You know what I'm saying? Him in the back either. Right. And then when people look at me like, man, you really cocky. Like, no. You know how much I work doing what I do? And when I see him and I see what they do and I see just the way they walk in the gym and the way they hit, you're not even comfortable with being here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could, you smell blood.
I walk this walk.
You know what I'm saying? I walk this walk all the time. I know where the lights is on this gym. I know who to talk to. I know this whole atmosphere. So when you walk in here and you looking around like, who's in here? I smell blood. I see you. You know what I'm saying? You can't hide.
It's a good feeling.
Especially in the pickup. Ain't no refs, ain't no coaches, you can't hide. Come here. Right here. This wing. That's why I'm looking at D Books and it's like, they was mad at him for saying double. Y'all can't double. Like, bro, first of all, who was doubling you? Why is first? No. Yeah. No. Who was that? I want to know who came to double. We need to talk. Why is you doubling him? Guard him.
Guard him.
I don't want. I don't care if he score 100. Take that. Yeah. You guard him.
Yeah. You know how it go.
You know how it go. Yeah. And then when it goes on the other end, I'm going right back.
Yeah.
You calling for double, man? I wish I was there.
It's a different time.
They play one-on-one full court when I was in there. What?
To 12.
To 12. Ain't no way.
No way, bro. We come up different, though,
dog. Man, John Lucas and all that, man. I was down there with Catino Mobley, Sam Cassell, Steve Francis, young boy. 17, young boy. Bundy.
Yes.
Yo, come in. Catino Mobley was destroying me every single day in the workout.
Me too.
Left hand, all that. Post up, I'm bigger than him, everything. Killing me.
Yeah.
Young fellas, get through that. Get through that. Figure that out.
Hey, he's the ISO king. He gonna hold the ball and wait till he got you on the island.
All the way.
Strong as shit. Shout out Cat.
Cat's people.
person you ever had to guard?
It's different for me because I got like, fortunately, I played long enough to play Gary. I can play like Roy was a problem. People always talk about obviously Kobe and T-Mac. I always do. But when you think about people who was a problem and people who really don't really give the respect
Have an understanding.
right. He was a problem. Cat was a problem.
Oh, I think you know.
Problem. People don't even realize how much Karolinko was a problem in Utah, bro. And it wasn't even like he's the guy. He was just a problem.
Nobody was just awkward.
Yeah.
Right.
He was just awkward, bro. You couldn't get it. Like, you couldn't figure him out. You couldn't figure him out, dog.
My first game, I actually played Reggie
Miller?
Yeah.
But it probably wasn't even no ISO.
Bro, it was all picks. Davis, bro. Every time.
I know.
And young fella, listen, you gotta duck your shoulder and come on.
That's people that can really hit you with the big ones too.
And they was moving back then. It wasn't no bullshit. Oh, nah, move the screen. No. You going out of bounds and it's Reggie. Right. Young fella, don't say nothing to me. Let's go. You know what I'm saying?
I remember it funny. I actually hit Reggie in 2009 because I had to guard Ray Allen in Boston when I was in Orlando. How do I get around these picks? What kind of tricks? What do I need to do? Because I couldn't stay with that motherfucker. And they were sending me hard ass picks. KG was sending me hard ass picks. Like, and I hear Reggie like, yo, what do I need to do? And he told me, grab the jersey, grab the ball, take all the picks from the body, get long, cut the corner. So he was telling me all the shit that, obviously people are trying to do to him. But that shit is, people understand, like, the game. It don't even have to be ISO.
I just imagine practice every day. I gotta chase this motherfucker around. I'm the first two guard. You know what I'm saying? This was last year. So I gotta chase him around every day in practice. And that shit get tiring and it kills your offense because you ain't got no legs.
No legs. That's why I say
he in great shape.
You don't understand like how important play is to Golden State because Steph don't have to do that.
Was he scored 50 something with 3 dribbles, 4 dribbles?
Killer.
That's crazy.
Killer. 2018, game 1 of the finals. Get the offensive rebound. Good for the half court. Talk about that to the right.
Right before.
LeBron passing towards Hill. Free throw.
My goods are top quality, the very, very best.
Back out there.
think it's about time for a break, being honest. What the fuck it's got me doing next, but earn loyalty tokens. It's like wandering around doing some random shit now, so. And our market's full. That's good. We'll see what sells and what doesn't, honestly. Hopefully we'll see some movement on those new pushes. But regardless, I still, I got some mores in there just to be generating something just in case. But I think the jewels and stuff might start moving. You never know. I mean, it's hard to tell, really. I know those will move, those 2,800 ones, but the 9,000, I just don't know if enough's gonna sell to. Like, I really have to like completely dominate it for that, which I can, but it'll take some time.
You won't find prices like these anywhere else on the wheels.
On that note, we'll be back in a bit. Fruit.